Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. The US Navy's USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, has docked at the NATO base in Souda Bay, Crete, ahead of a planned deployment into the Middle East. It will join the USS Abraham Lincoln and other warships as Washington boosts its military presence amid rising tensions with Iran over its nuclear program. The stop serves as a resupply point before the carrier moves closer to the region. Iran is close to a deal with China to purchase anti-ship cruise missiles, just as the United States deploys a vast naval force near the Iranian coast, ahead of possible strikes on the Islamic Republic. According to 6 people with knowledge of the negotiations, the deal for the Chinese-made CM-302 missiles is near completion, though no delivery date has been agreed. The supersonic missiles have a range of about 290 kilometers and are designed to evade shipborne defenses by flying low and fast. 2 weapons experts said their deployment would significantly enhance Iran's strike capabilities and pose a threat to US naval forces in the region. An Iranian army helicopter has crashed into a fruit market in the central province of Isfahan, killing the pilot, co-pilot, and 2 merchants. State media reported that the helicopter came down in the city of Dorche, causing a fire that was put out by emergency services. Experts say Iran has a poor air safety record, with repeated crashes, many involving aircraft bought before the 1979 Islamic Revolution, and lacking original spare parts for maintenance. Russian President Vladimir Putin has accused Ukraine of trying to derail peace efforts and threatening Russian energy pipelines. In televised remarks on the 4th anniversary of the war, Putin said Moscow's enemies were turning to what he called mass terror, including strikes on cities and sabotage. He called for tighter protection of strategic infrastructure, as Kyiv has targeted Russian oil facilities during the war. Putin also made it clear that any strike involving a nuclear element would carry serious consequences, pointing to Russia's updated nuclear doctrine as a deterrent. On the other hand, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has vowed to fight on and called for a stronger European role in peace negotiations. Speaking at a Coalition of the Willing meeting in Kyiv, Zelensky said Europe must be directly involved in talks, with a new trilateral format expected within 10 days. He thanked allies for a fresh air defence package, saying half has already arrived. He also urged tougher EU sanctions on Russia's shadow oil fleet, as Hungary continues to block €90 billion in approved support. Meanwhile, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says the European Union will deliver a €90 billion loan package for Ukraine, one way or another. The amount roughly translates to approximately $105 billion. Speaking in Kyiv, she also announced plans for a new winter energy package worth €920 million for 2026 and 2027. Von der Leyen said Ukraine has a clear path to EU membership as the bloc finalises its 20th sanctions package against Russia. Also, European Council President Antonio Costa has urged Moscow to engage seriously in talks, saying Kyiv has held firm after 4 years of war. China has urged the United States to abandon its unilateral tariffs, indicating also that it is willing to hold another round of trade talks with the world's largest economy. The country's Commerce Ministry said in a statement that China will decide at the right time on adjusting countermeasures, countering the latest US tariff adjustments. The foreign ministers of Brazil, France, Spain, Turkey, and various other states have condemned Israeli decisions that they said introduce sweeping extensions to unlawful Israeli control over the West Bank. A joint statement issued by the Turkish Foreign Ministry said changes are wide-ranging, reclassifying Palestinian land as so-called Israeli state land, accelerating illegal settlement activity, and further entrenching Israeli administration. Other countries to sign the statement included Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Qatar, as well as the heads of the Arab League and Organization of Islamic Cooperation. All 7 people on board a Beechcraft air ambulance that crashed in the Indian state of Jharkhand have been killed, including 2 crew members, the patient, and his relatives. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation said the Beechcraft C-90 plane, operated by Redbird Airways, took off from state capital Ranchi but requested a change to its flight path due to weather. It added that the aircraft subsequently lost communication and radar contact. And at least 22 people have died after heavy rains battered Brazil's southeastern state of Minas Gerais. Authorities say 16 victims were reported in Juiz de Fora and 6 in Uba, as flooding and landslides swept through the region. Hundreds have been displaced and schools suspended. The government has declared a state of calamity in Juiz de Fora to speed up aid, while nationwide weather alerts remain in place. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.